How's it going, guys? 3:11 a.m. Wednesday, 22nd of February here in Japan. We have a difficult question for genetics for step one, pass level vignette. I'll do my best to keep discussion of these answer choices to a simplified level without causing extra confusion, because this chat can get very fucking confusing very fucking fast. So before we get started, please subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate it. Give it a like. Really appreciate it. Find me on Instagram at mehlman_medical, mehlman_medical. Links down below. Find me on Telegram. Links to the Telegram group and channel down below. Now start the clip. 5-year-old girl. She has impulsive eating since the age of 3 years. 50th percentile for height. 99th percentile for weight. Physical exam shows almond-shaped eyes. Prominent nasal bridge. There's hypotonia of the extremities. Mental status exam shows delayed motor and speech development. Fluorescence Institute hybridization detects no deletions in chromosome 15. Question wants to know the most likely mechanism for this patient's presentation. So before we dive into the vignette, you should just know that imprinting in genetics means that you have a gene from one of the parents that is silenced. So for all genes, we have 2 alleles, one coming from each parent. And for many genes, only one will be expressed. Where if we have maternal imprinting, it means the allele coming from mom is silenced. It's as though we don't even have the allele, okay? We're only expressing the one coming from dad. So in turn, if dad's allele, the only one that we're expressing, is fucked up, if it's deleted or there's a mutation in it, we get disease. That's what we normally see for prader-willi syndrome here, okay? It's not correct in this case, but it's what we normally get. This is prader-willi syndrome. Okay, most of the time it's due to maternal imprinting. So most of the time we're getting a copy of a gene from mom, a copy of a gene from dad. The one coming from mom is silenced. We call that maternal imprinting. Willie hates his dad is the mnemonic I've come up with, and it's because dad's gene is deleted. So that's the mechanism for Prader-Willi syndrome most of the time. Copy coming from dad is deleted/mutated. Mom's gene is silenced. And so there's no functional copy of the gene that we're expressing. However, OMG, this question says that a fish says there's no deletions detected. So we know that maternal imprinting can't be the mechanism, because there's no deleted gene coming from dad that's detected. So the mechanism instead that USMLE wants is maternal uniparental disomy, which means we're simply getting 2 alleles coming from mom where both are silenced. Now, as I said, it can get very fucking confusing very fucking fast. If you have 2 alleles coming from mom where they're both going to be silenced, it's as though you don't have a functional copy of the gene. Okay, you could say, well, if they're both silenced, isn't that still imprinting? I agree with you, but it's not what USMLE wants. Okay, so if they give you a vignette of Prader-Willi syndrome, and they don't mention anything about a deletion, you're going to choose maternal imprinting. If they say there's a deletion, you're going to choose maternal uniparental disomy. Angelman syndrome is the opposite. Happy puppet syndrome. Okay, so it'll be a kid who has lots of laughter. All right, and normally the mnemonic I've come up with is mom is not an angel because mom's gene is deleted/mutated. So normally we have a gene coming from mom that's deleted/mutated. The gene coming from dad is silenced. That's called paternal imprinting. So most of the time, if they just give you happy puppet syndrome in a vignette, nothing else, most of the time, that's going to be paternal imprinting. And if similarly, they were to tell you that there's no deletion detected on Fluorescence Institute hybridization, you would say, well, it's got to be paternal uniparental disomy where the kid's receiving 2 copies of the gene from dad. It just happens to be that both are silenced. So as I prefaced with multiple times already, this can be very confusing. So if you feel you are having difficulty wrapping your head around it, what I want you to essentially memorize, because USMLE doesn't give a fuck. You don't have to get up and give an oral presentation on this stuff. What I want you to take home is that Prader-Willi syndrome is usually maternal imprinting. Angelman syndrome is usually paternal imprinting. If they tell you in the question that no deletion is detected, for Prader-Willi syndrome, you're going to choose maternal uniparental disomy. For Angelman syndrome, you're going to choose paternal uniparental disomy as your answers in USMLE. You know the deal. I'm going to continue to make more content. If you like my stuff, subscribe to my channel. And I appreciate your time. That's it.